Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to This Garden Rocks with Adam. I have another great show for you today. Have you ever wanted to know how to grow strawberries, but wasn't quite sure how? Well, stay tuned because I got some more great content for you. So let's rock. So there are two types of strawberries. So you have here in this container, you have June bearing strawberries and you have everbearing strawberries. The difference between both types of strawberries, June bearing, hence its name, most of strawberries are going to come between the end of May, most of June, maybe a little bit into July. And then they're pretty much done for the year, giving you strawberries. Everbearing strawberries will give you from June all the way to the first frost date. With June bearing strawberries, you'll get them all at once. You'll get a lot of them. They're pretty prolific. And everbearing, you'll get them not as many all at once, but you'll get a few in June. You'll get a bunch in end of July, August, and then you'll get probably one or two more, which equal to amount of strawberries you'll get all in one shot from your June bearing strawberries. Right? You can grow them in containers, right? Or an elevated raised bed. You can even, follow me, you could even grow them in the ground. I highly recommend, if you grow them in the ground, that when they shoot runners, that you cut them so they don't take over your lawn. I recommend that you take them and you contain them in a raised bed or a container, as they do have runners. Also, as you can see, I just cut a runner, so runner kind of looks like that. So you can see that, there you go, that's a runner, and it kind of grows right from the stem right here, so it'll kind of look like that, coming right out, and then you just cut it, snip it. However, if you want to grow another strawberry, if they touch the ground, it doesn't matter whether it's everbearing or June bearing, it touches the ground, it will root where it touches the ground, and then you'll get a new strawberry plant. I have it also in the side over here, my raised bed, right, as this one is more prolific than others. This one is actually older, and this one's a June bearing. June bearing, you could have, this one specifically for June bearing is your Delmarva, and really suits the Zone 7, Zone 8, and Zone 6 areas, growing areas. And the everbearing that I have here are both Albion and Quinault. So if you're looking for them, you could either go to one of the big box stores and buy them, or you can get one from a friend. As they grow those runners, they hit the ground, and if you have plenty more runners and you don't have enough room, you could just dig them up, pot them up, and then give them to a friend, and then you have more strawberry plants. When you're growing strawberries, like these right here are in year 3. Strawberries usually run in a 5-year cycle. First year you get them, you might get a handful of strawberries. And so when you put it in the ground, you first put that plant. So for example, you go to a store, you buy a strawberry plant, you put it in the ground. That plant is usually in either year 1 or year 2. And you put it in the ground, and it's gonna give you a handful of strawberries. And then when it's done, if it's June bearing or everbearing, it's then going to offshoot those runners. And that mother plant will do fine for the next 3-4 years, and all the other runners will be in their first year, and they'll get some strawberries, but you'll get a lot of strawberries from your mother plant. Then when your runners that are now the next year are now in their 2nd year, and your mother plant's in its 3rd year, you're going to get a lot more strawberries. When those baby plants are in its 3rd year, which is the apex, which these guys are right here, these are all 3rd year plants. The mother plant, which I did get, was a year 2, I got maybe a handful of strawberries from that mother plant, the first one the original. And so after year 5 or year 4 or 5, they become more of just an ornamental type plant where it's not giving you really any flowers, not really giving you any strawberries. So to prevent that problem, what you do is you dig out that mother plant and toss it away or give it to a friend, because it's still going to give you runners. But I obviously, this bed is full, I don't have enough room, so I gave that mother plant away so someone else could have strawberries. So these guys, what's going to happen, since they're all in year 3, next year I'll get a little bit less strawberries. As you can see, they're starting to grow. I got lots of flowers. Strawberries are also self-pollinating. They both have the male and female parts in them. And see, there's some down here growing, some over here growing. Lots and lots of strawberries. Even have one little one starting to turn color over there. A little early for her, but also strawberries are perennials, so they come back year after year in most grown zones. So what happens is, after this is June bearing, so what's going to happen is, after it gives me all these strawberries within the next month or so, I'm then going to cut most of these leaves down, right? And then it's going to grow new growth. And by the time the winter comes, it's going to have a good amount of growth on it to protect it. And then it's going to go dormant in the winter. And it's not going to really grow or do anything, but it's still going to, it could survive temperatures. You know, this specific one could survive temperatures below freezing for quite some time. It's very cold hardy, and it's also very heat tolerant. So when it goes dormant, and then come March, if you check out my other videos, you'll see it, these guys back in April when they were a lot smaller. So it grew about a foot since the middle of April, in a month. Grew a foot in height. And so they come back again, and they start coming out of dormancy at the end of March, April, depending on the weather and the temperatures, and then you got strawberries, and it starts the cycle all over again. So these are your June bearing strawberries. To fertilize them, you will give it just a normal balanced fertilizer. They like a little bit more acidic soil, but they're very tolerant and easy if you don't want to make your soil acidic. And you just fertilize it. You could put straw down if you choose, or mulch. I mulch mine with grass clippings, which if you see another video, I show how you can save a lot of money. Just use your grass clippings. So you don't want strawberries touching the ground. If they touch the ground, then bugs and everything will get in it. Speaking of pests and insects or birds, to prevent birds or other insects or things or other creatures that will come in and destroy your strawberries, I'll put a link in my description or down below. Bird net, you could go on Amazon and you could put a bird net over it. You can spray peppermint oil with water. You can sprinkle cinnamon and cayenne pepper, and most creatures can't stand those smells. Very, very powerful to different animals. So they stay far away from your berries when you do that. So I hope you enjoyed this content. I'll give you another update on my strawberries later this year. And also watch out for some content on my raspberries, because as they are starting to beginning to grow some of their berries on them, some of my raspberries over there. These guys are June bearing raspberries, so within the next few weeks, month, I'm gonna get plenty of raspberries as well. Thank you for coming. Please like, comment, subscribe. Remember, even your garden can rock too.